Good afternoon, YouTube. How's it going today? It's Coach Joe here of the Atlanta Talonflames. I'm here to bring you our Week 5 Team Builder. I got a little messed up on the weeks there because I forgot we had to buy Week 1. But I'm here to bring you the Team Builder today. We are up against the Wheeling Alakazams and Coach Dr. Thumping, as he's referred to, Dr. Thumping. He is the founder of the Shiva Shack YouTube page, as well as a psychic type expert. And I think he's going with a different type in our next season of the Shiva Draft League Gym Challenge that we have in the Shiva Shack Discord. Dr. Thumping, right now, his team, they are 3-0. They're undefeated. And what's staggering is the fact that they have a plus 11 differential on their team. Now, granted, one of them was a forfeit, so he got a 5-0 there. But winning 3-0, 2-0, 4-0, he can get pretty good after a while. And the fact that he's got such a high differential based on his team, and he just made a switch, which I'll address very shortly, it's going to be interesting to see what I might endure during our battle. But we're going to look at his team real quick. We're going to look at a couple of strategies you might see, and then I'm going to demonstrate which 6 I'm bringing to the battle. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we have his team right here. His team is Tyranitar, Arcanine, Alolan Ninetales, Gastrodon. I don't know which Gastrodon C he's going to have. It could be East, it could be West. I don't know. Cloyster, Lucario, Alakazam, Barbaracle, Male Meowstic, Tentacruel, and Dusk Noir. Now, I'll give you a fair tip. Like I alluded to with the Shiva Draft League Gym Challenge and our Discord server, Dr. Thumping, he has used the Alakazam, he's used the Arcanine, and he's used the Tyranitar against me. So I kind of know what I'm looking at with those 3 per se. But I'm going to give a little brief rundown of what I'm expecting. First off, we're going to go with the Tyranitar just because that's his Dynamax Pokemon. He cannot Dynamax anything other than that Tyranitar. He normally runs the weakness policy on it. So he's going to set up the Sand, get the 50% special defense boost, and then if I hit him with a special attack, he is going to get the +2 in attack, +2 in special attack, and then just go to town on me. So have to watch out for that, but I think the counter that I'm going to bring for that is going to be worth it. Next up is Arcanine. Arcanine, he usually runs the full physical set, which was Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Close Combat, and Extreme Speed. Very bulky physical attacker. So, could see that. He might change it up, go special attack, maybe do like a Flamethrower and a Snarl. Try to get my special attackers. Next up is Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales, he's going to use it probably for Snow Warning, I would assume. Set up the Hail, get Aurora Veil for 5 turns, maybe even 8. Probably would have Freeze Dry, probably would have Ice Shard, maybe Dazzling Gleam, because I do have a couple of Dark types on my squad, but we'll see how he wants to approach that Ninetales slot, given that he has a Sand Setter in Tyranitar. Next up is the Gastrodon. Gastrodon, East, West C. Again, I don't know which one I'm going to be seeing. I'm going to assume it's EC just because that's the one that's in Sword and Shield, but it could be any version of, there's only 2 versions, to be fully honest with you. There's the East and there's a West. So, EC Gastrodon, West C Gastrodon, they're both water ground, they both will have Storm Drain, probably Earth Power, Scald, maybe Sludge Bomb, and then probably Recover or something like that, to get some, stall me out. Next up, Lucario, probably would have Steadfast or Inner Focus, I think are its 2 abilities that I would have, because I don't see him running Justified on it. Justified's only good for double battle format, for beat up strategies. So I would probably expect to see maybe the Steadfast Lucario. Probably Close Combat, Bullet Punch. I think it can learn Earthquake, and then probably Aura Sphere or something like that for a special attack coverage. Now, the interesting one is he did drop Phalanx last week. So this week, instead of facing Phalanx, I'm going to be facing Cloyster. We all know how dominant Cloyster can be at times. If it gets one Shell Smash and then it uses Icicle Spear, it's basically game over. Because the skill link, 5 hits, it knocks out just about anything that isn't resisted by it. However, I feel like I've got a counter for that one too that I looked up with the calculations and practice battles that I ran, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Barbaricle's next, another Shell Smash user. He's used that effectively before in his battles, which you can also find on the Shiva Shack YouTube channel. I think it had Liquidation, I think it had Stone Edge, and it had Shell Smash and one other move, probably like U-Turn or something like that. So it's going to be fast, it's going to be physical. Could come down to that Pokemon. We'll find out as it goes in. Next up is Alakazam. Alakazam is actually Thumping's ace in our gym challenge. He nicknamed it Lucica. I don't know the reference to Lucica, to be fully honest. It's probably something anime, and despite me, liking Pokemon, I don't really follow much other anime franchises, to be fully honest with you. But his Alakazam, it runs Shadow Ball, it runs Psychic, it runs Dazzling Gleam, probably Recover or Energy Ball. Actually, no, it is Energy Ball because he used Max Overgrowth on me. So, full special attacker, not very good defenses. It'll be interesting to see what he does there, especially the fact that he cannot max his Alakazam. Tentacruel's next. Tentacruel, probably I'm going to see the Assault Vest variation because it's special defense with the Assault Vest. My friend Gel Creed, who's the coach of the Salt Lake City Bee Drills, his Tentacruel with Assault Vest, it just skyrockets. So having the special defense boost there at the expense of no status moves being used, it helps out Tentacruel very effectively, so we'll have to see what goes on with there. Meowstic Male, he's used that one primarily as a support Pokemon. If I remember correctly, he ran like Thunder Wave, dual screens. I think he ran Trick Room with it, but I'm not entirely sure. He could have even ran Imprison with it, but Meowstic Male, without a shadow of a doubt, is a support Pokemon. It's going to have Prankster. So I got to be wary of that Pokemon per se. I got to be aware of the dual screens because if he doesn't use Aurora Veil with Alolan Ninetales, he's going to use dual screens. And one of those two is most likely going to have the Light Clay for 8 turns. And then finally is Dusk Noir. Dusk Noir, unlike its pre-evolution Dusk class, it doesn't really get that much love, which is unfortunate because Dusk Noir, it can be good in certain situations. It's just because it doesn't have that Eviolite 50% boost to its defense and special defense stats, it gets overlooked. But in Trick Room, Dusk Noir can be pretty dang impressive against other opponents with its physical moves. It learns all the elemental punches. I think it can learn Earthquake. It can learn a couple of other coverage moves if need be. And if we all remember the anime in the Diamond and Pearl series, which is widely considered one of the best in terms of story and pacing, Ash had to verse Conway, and Conway used a Dusk Noir, which knocked out his Noctowl and knocked out his Donphan before Gibble ate a Shadow Punch, and then Draco meteored it into Oblivion to advance to the quarterfinals. And we all know what happened after that. He beat Paul in a wonderfully executed battle, great pacing all throughout, and then he lost to Tobias in the semifinals. And if I have any anime fans out there, I apologize for taking us on a dark tour down memory lane. But enough of that. Let's go into the team builder, and I'm going to show you guys which 6 I am using. First up, returning from last week, we have Mittens the Luxray. Mittens will be holding the Fiji Berry again. She. I'm running Jolly Nature, Max Attack, Max Speed, Crunch, Wild Charge, Ice Fang, Play Rough. It'll do some damage against the Barbaracle. It'll do some damage against the Cloyster. The Gastrodon could do a little damage. Tentacruel will do damage against. The Meowstic, the Dusk Noir, it'll do some damage with. And it can do some damage to the Tyranitar, but again, I have to be wary of that weakness policy. And also Max Quake. So next up is Inteleon, Bubble07. He's returning after a 2-week hiatus because he was nursing an injury he had suffered in practice. I'm going to be running the Light Clay on Inteleon this week again. for the max reflect and light screen because of that cloister with its +2 in attack and special attack. But a counter that I'm going to have now, right now, this was the original set. I'm going to change Air Slash. I'm going to change it to Rain Dance. Because if I get that Rain Dance set up and I control the weather, I can run Rough Shot over just about his entire team because he doesn't have a Swift Swimmer. So that's going to be an interesting setup if I can get it in late game. The next up, returning, Gojira, the Duraludon. Duraludon, I'm going to give it the Choice Scarf. It's a little tough to give it anything other than that, but it can survive a +2 Icicle Spear if I get that Reflect up from Cloister, and then I can go to town with it with Thunderbolt because, believe it or not, no investment in special attack whatsoever, and I knock out that Cloister. It doesn't matter what I use, which was pretty impressive per se. I did not anticipate a 0 investment in special attack could be enough to knock out a Cloister of all things. Next up, returning from last week, Tai Chi, the Hitmontop. He's going to be running the Assault Vest again. He's maxed out in attack. He's got some defense and special defense and some HP in there. Running the Technician ability, max power for Mach Punch, Fake Out, Bullet Punch, Triple Axle. He could pretty much knock out a lot of things. He 2-hit KOs that Cloister, if you can believe that. 2-hit KOs that. I found out that 2 hits on a Triple Axle and a Bullet Punch are enough to knock out the Alakazam in my practice battles. And that's with Assault Vest. Assault Vest actually, a Dazzling Gleam from Alakazam, max special attack, only does 50% damage with Assault Vest. So that'll help out, and then I can still knock it out in 2 hits. Next up is a new addition. Now, granted, he's been on the team for a while, but he just has been sitting on the sideline because I didn't really have a good time to bring him out. I'm bringing out Linoon. Now, I have not fixed this Linoon yet, per se. Like, this was my initial set. What I'm going to do with Linoon is I'm going to get rid of Thief for knockoff, and I'm going to get rid of Shadow Claw. I'm probably going to put like U-turn or something like that on it to, keep the damage control out there. But here's the kicker. I'm giving it that Toxic Orb. Now, what does the Toxic Orb do? Again, it badly poisons. Most people, they'll use Flame Orb because they get the Guts boosted attack boost. But instead, I wanted to run Quick Feet on Linoon because since Linoon doesn't get Guts, it needs that boost in speed. And I found this out from calculations. Linoon at max speed investment with the Toxic Orb and Quick Feet actually outspeeds that Cloister by 14 points based on the calculations. Now, granted, I was doing it at level 100, but level 50 is roughly a counter to it. And I could still do some damage on it per se. So I have to be very wary. Again, I have to be wary of that Cloister, but it can knock out the Alakazam. It can take care of the Meowstic and take care of the Dusk Noir. It can take care of a lot of his team and outspeed roughly everything. But again, it's going to be on a timer because of the Toxic Orb. I don't have a choice on that one. And then finally, it's coming back again. You guys already know it because it's been roughly the MVP of my team this season. And there's also kind of a reason why it was banned in Season 6 of VGC. Bloomin' Onion is returning again. The G-Max Venusaur. Still giving it the wide lens. It's max special attack. It's max speed with the timid nature. Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Frenzy Plant, Sleep Powder. I'm going to try to get that Vine Lash set up to get the damage off as best I can. It'll knock out the Gastrodon. It'll knock out the Barbaracle. It'll do some damage against the Cloister. The Earth Power is there to deal with the Tentacruel and the Arcanine. Can also do the Barbaracle, but again, 4 times weakness to Grass. Of course, I'm going to be using the Grass move. Tyranitar. If I get rid of the Rain, Tyranitar is done. Oh no, my bad. That's a mistake on my part. If I get rid of the Sand, then Tyranitar is done. But that is going to be the 6 that we bring for our battle against Dr. Thumping. We're going to hopefully try to get that battle done tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and then it'll go up on both our channels, on mine and the official Shiva Shack YouTube channel. I look forward to that battle against Dr. Thumping. I'm hoping to end his undefeated season, but from what I've battled him in our gym challenge, the guy does not mess around, especially with that trio of Alakazam, Arcanine, and Tyranitar. Those three are a monster powerhouse. But if my strategy, I'm confident in the strategy I'm bringing against him. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in that battle, ladies and gentlemen. If you want, you can subscribe to my channel. You can subscribe to Shiva Shack. I'll have links in the description below. I look forward to our battle tomorrow, Thumping, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. So be ready for a very intense battle.